So another month has passed us by, and I am back again with another monthly wrap up. So I didn't read a whole lot of books this month, only six. So you'll see why. The first book I read really um, whooped my ass. Uh, kicking off the first book is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. And I started this book and read the first 8 days, and then I took a break on it and read some other books, and then wind up ending my month with it. This book was fantastic. I couldn't have started a better book for the month. But yeah, you follow three main characters. There is Kaladin, there's Shallan, and there's Dalinar. So the book jumps back and forth to each character, telling a little bit about them, or they'll have like a chapter, and then it'll jump to another character. So Kaladin is like the main character, and he's a slave, and he gets put in this with these men, these other slaves in Bridge 4. And what they do is these men, they'll help run this bridge. They pick up this bridge, this wooden bridge, and it takes like 30 something men to do it. Sometimes they'll have less people because people will die on the run. But they run this bridge, and they go to these chasms, and they're like cliffs, but so they push the bridge across so this army can cross to this bridge to get on this chasm to fight this chasm fiend and to get its gem heart out. And they're also having to dodge arrows by the Pershindi, this enemy army. And it's two armies fighting against each other to kill this chasm fiend and get its gem heart, and that helps either army who does that. So Kaladin is suffering with depression at the beginning of the book, and a little bit of suicide or suicidal thoughts, and he's accompanied by this little wind spren. I still can't tell you exactly what a wind spren is, even though I read the whole book. But they can change their appearances. If they don't want to be seen, they'll just stay invisible. But they can blend in with the environment that they're around. They can change into leaves. It looks like they're just leaves blowing in the wind or something. But you learn about this wind spren named Seal. You learn exactly what she is through the book, what she can do, she just keeps Kaladin company, and I really grew to love her. And then jumping to Shallan, she goes to this woman named Jasnah, and she wants to become her ward. And her sole mission, is to steal Jasnah's soul caster, which is like a necklace that has like powers and stuff. And her hometown or they owe a debt or something, and so Shallan is trying to steal Jasnah's soul caster so she can give it to the people they owe a debt to, so they'll leave her family alone. And that was an intense plot with her. And there's also another mystery, like with her drawings, and I don't want to give anything away because I'm planning on making a spoiler review of this here soon. And then we have Dalinar, and Dalinar is a high prince. He's in charge of his own army. There's like several high princes, and they have a small army, and some of them they'll take turns going to fight the Prashindi and try to kill a chasm fiend. And so Dalinar, he gets these visions, these weird visions that occur during a high storm, which is a very, very dangerous storm. You don't want to be caught in, because you'll basically die if you're out during a high storm. But he gets these visions, and there's this like mysterious person telling him to unite all of the high princes. And so he tries and tries, and so I'm not gonna give away any spoilers, but yeah, I really, really love this book. And when I first started out reading it, Shallan, Kaladin was my favorite at the beginning. I was fascinated with his story, and then Shallan she rose up there. Like, her plot just really, really fascinated me. And because I was wanting, I kept wanting to read to find out if she can succeed in stealing the Soulcaster, and the mystery with her drawings just really fascinated me. And then, like, when I would read more of Dalinar, his story would fascinate me too. So I don't really have a favorite here, because like Kaladin's was equally as fascinating, and I wanted like all of them to succeed in their endeavors. So yeah, I don't really have a favorite storyline. I enjoyed it all, and it did end with a cliffhanger, the book. So I was tempted to start the next book this month, because I'm filming on the 1st of August. I wanted to start the next one, but each book is over 1,000 pages long, so I really don't have time for it. This book really beat my ass this month, because it's over 1,200 pages, and yeah, I was just struggling every day to read as much as I could and not get behind, because I'm trying to do at least 5 books a month. So yeah, you can follow my journey reading this book. I'll leave a card in the corner of the video. But yeah, I really enjoyed myself. This was a unique experience, filming my journey reading this book. But yeah, 5 out of 5 stars for me. So the next one I read was A Monster Calls. I heard a lot of good things about this book. So this boy discovers this monster outside of his house, and this monster says that he'll tell the boy 3 stories, and then the 4th one, the boy has to tell him a story. And the boy has this dying mother. I forget exactly what happened to her, because when you read so many books a month, you forget some of the details of the books. But yeah, this book was emotional at the end, and it's gonna get a 4.5 out of 5 for me. And it's really thin, so I don't want to talk about a whole lot, because I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, number 2 is probably gonna make some of you guys mad, or number 3, I mean. So the 3rd book I read was The Last Wish. It is the first book in the Witcher series. It is the short story book, and this one I couldn't really get into, and I felt disappointed when I finished the book. I didn't connect with any of the characters, and I guess that's because it was a short story, or it was a short story book. But yeah, like, after I finished with it, or now making this video, I can't really remember any of the stories that well. And that's it makes me nervous continuing with the series. Since the first book didn't really interest me that much. But you follow Geralt. He is a monster hunter, and this is a fantasy. If you don't know what the Witcher series is, yeah, he's a monster hunter, and this takes place in like the medieval times. And yeah, it just didn't really, uh, get me and make me invested in this book or the series. So, and the next book is also a short story book. So yeah, it makes me really nervous because if the second one doesn't get me either, get me invested, I don't know. I may not finish the series. But yeah, I'm gonna give that one a 2.5 out of 5. I probably wouldn't recommend it to anybody, and I probably wouldn't read it again. I mean, maybe in a few years, if the rest of the series does get me invested, I may go back and revisit the first book. But that's where I stand on that one for now. So this next one, the fourth book, is a science book. So I read Stephen Hawking's I'm getting tongue tied. Stephen Hawking's The Universe in a Nutshell. Um, I love science. I really, really love science, and that is one of the things I would love to go to college for and just learn astrophysics. Space fascinates the hell out of me. Um, so this book covers Einstein's theory of relativity. It covers black holes and time travel and a few other things. So if you're interested in that, I would highly recommend this book. 5 stars all the way. I love this one too. Because science always fascinates me. No matter what you talk about, I'm interested in it. So, the fifth book I read was another Goosebumps book. And the last time I read a Goosebumps book, well, I think was last month or the month before that, and I really didn't like it. But this one has to be my favorite. This one I could tolerate. Stay Out of the Basement. Um, so, I love science, and this is another science-related book because the dad in the book is a scientist, and he's doing experiments in the basement, and his kids are like, "What the fuck is he doing down there? Why is he acting strange? Why is he like staying in the basement for so long? What can he possibly be working on?" So they go down there eventually, and they start snooping around, and they find these plant things that their dad is working on. And I don't know if I want to spoil it or not for you guys, but I guess I won't. It's hard to talk about small books without spoiling them or trying to get into the plot. But I guess that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, this has to be my favorite Goosebumps book. Like, if you don't like cheesy books, this one is the least cheesiest Goosebumps book I've read. It was easier to get through than some of the other ones because this one was less childish, I guess. The things I don't like about Goosebumps books are every book is basically the same formula. Like, R.L. Stine uses the same things. Like, there's always many cliffhangers at every chapter ends with a mini cliffhanger, and that gets annoying because, like, if you've read many Goosebumps books before, you know that it's not going to be anything. Like, there's he does that to make you want to read the next chapter, but common sense tells you this it's going to wind up being something stupid. It's never nothing important or whatever. or anything scary. It's just going to be something stupid. But yeah, and another thing is he always has to have a boy and a girl lead characters, and he never changes it up, you know, rarely, and they always have to be a blonde and a redhead or something like that, and it's just ridiculous. Yeah, he just never really tries anything new with his characters. They're always basically the same characters in every book. But yeah, I'm gonna give that one a 3.5 out of 5. I would read it again. I think that's my second time reading it. I read it the first time a few years ago. But yeah, so the last book I read this month was The Teeny Tiny Woman, and it's a teeny tiny book. You can read it in just a few minutes. It's a children's book. I grew up reading this book when I was little. I would always get the audio book at my local library. And so it's impossible to talk about this book without spoiling it. So if you haven't read it and you would like to, then click off the video. But so yeah, there's this teeny tiny woman, and she goes to this graveyard and she finds a bone, and she brings it back to her house and puts it in her little cabinet beside her bed. And then she hears this voice come from her cabinet saying, "Give me my bone." So that's basically what the book's about. And yeah, that's basically the whole book. That's all it's about. But yeah, I don't really know what I would give that, because it's really really short, and it's a really simple story. There's no twists and turns. There's no character building at all. So I really don't know what to give it. I guess I would just have to go off my enjoyment of the book. And it's really different from how it used to be when I was a kid. When I read it, I used to love the book, but reading it now as an adult, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. I guess I would give it a 3 out of 5. I can say I didn't enjoy it as much as I did as a kid. I did listen to the audiobook. I don't have the physical copy. And the audiobook was the exact same how I, remembered it as a kid. And that brought back a lot of memories. But yeah, that is it for this month. And I can't wait to see what this new month is going to bring. But yeah, guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I will see you guys later.